Hey guys, what's going on? Alex back for another video. Today is episode 2 of the HD Card Show. Mark with me as always. How's it going, Mark?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good, man. Happy to do another one of these. Glad we're getting it going. Hopefully, we'll have a lot more shows in the future. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, we appreciate it. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Link down in the description below. And for all of our other social medias, Instagram, TikTok, and we're going to have this show going forward up on as a podcast format as well. So be on the lookout for that wherever you get your podcasts. So, Mark, what do we want to talk about today on the show?
Well, I think we have a few topics that are kind of pressing in the industry right now. First, we want to really cover is like the SGC price fluctuation. Recently went up, now it's back down, so we'll talk about that. Then we kind of want to go talk about what's going on in the retail landscape with Target and everything going on with the Panini market. Is this a long-term hold or what's going to happen in the future? And then we're going to get into kind of the sets that we're looking at or eyeing going forward. So we have a pretty packed show. First, let's just go and talk about Albert. Can you give us a walkthrough of what really has happened with SGC recently?
Yeah, so SGC kind of made some headlines this week. If you guys partake in other hobby content, I'm sure you probably have come across this in some capacity, but basically they announced that they're lowering their cost per card back down to $30. I believe initially their prices were $25, like back in the day before the boom really, and then it shot up to about I think it was 75 after PSA announced their
Yeah.
shutdown. So from the information that I saw in a couple videos was that SGC, so they've decreased their prices, and basically the reason they're comfortable doing that is because they've hired over 100 new employees and they're continuing to hire. And then they also are opening up 3 new facilities to try to, kind of house the big return they're thinking they're going to be seeing shortly.
Nice, nice. And I wish they would just hire remotely. So a few things that I was taking away from the SGC kind of grading company is a lot of the pros that were coming along with it. A few that I noticed were that they were very on target with their turnaround time. This is before the boom, and this is as best they could after the boom too. But before they had nothing but positive reviews from their customer success and also their quality insurance. If there was anything that was wrong with the card, they would act very quickly and responsively to return, which is something that we can't really say for PSA
Right.
or BGS. I know BGS it has a very long wait time, and that was even before this whole sports card boom. At least PSA has done something to change it. HGA is still doing things like a queue system, and that doesn't seem really sustainable. So, what do you think this really does compared to the other big players in the grading space?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a huge announcement for them, and I think it's definitely a step in the right direction. I think kind of generally they've always been in contention for that third kind of most sought after grading company spot, and I think that if this goes how it seems like it's going to go for them, like I think that would really cement them there and give them some kind of market power to even push a little higher, put some pressure on PSA and BGS. It I don't know, for me it's just overall slab look is definitely a huge factor for me personally, and obviously the customer service, if their customer service is top of the line, that's going to go like a long way for a lot of people. But for me it still comes down to a little bit of an aesthetic thing, which I can't say that I like their slabs more than PSA or Beckett, but I do think they're pretty solid overall to where I would definitely be comfortable with them being in that third spot. And depending on the card, I could see myself potentially submitting to them at that price point. What about yourself?
Yeah, I completely agree. So for the price point, really, I could see myself just submitting cards that I want for my collection that I don't really see myself flipping long term.
Mhm.
So for those that I just want to have in a slab, I could absolutely see myself go that way. One thing that I thought was a little interesting was that Golden Auctions won't accept SGC, even though we've already talked. They've been around for quite a while, and we see them as kind of that bronze tier, that third person or third place of the big players. So it's almost like a matter of time before they start allowing it. But I really see this kind of raising the price of a lot of the SGC slabs just because of awareness, not necessarily for like long term value. But I do think that this can be maybe that economy grade that a lot of people go for. I'm not a huge fan of the look of them. I personally like the HGA like customization of those. So I like slabs that are a little bit different outside of it. I'm also not a huge fan of the PSA look. I actually like BGS a little bit more than PSA. I think it looks a little too plain with the white and the red. I think they can do a lot more interesting things with that. And I think that competition like HGA help that. That's separate from SGC because HGA still needs to figure out their queue system. So if you can't get the cards in the public's hands and acquire that market share, you're not really growing your business. And so with SGC, I kind of gather that this is going to help cement themselves, like you said, in that third tier, maybe even creep up into that second slot. Because if BGS doesn't have the customer success or the support, and they're delaying all of the returns on those cards, then I see this for a huge opportunity for SGC to move into. Um, but that's my take on that matter.
Yeah, no, there's definitely, I mean, right now is probably the best opportunity that they're going to get to try to make up some ground,
No
if
doubt.
they can pull this off successfully. And I mean, that's a pretty big if. Like, even in some of the videos I was watching where where Sports Card Investor actually went in and was talking with them, basically they were like, we don't really know what we're going to be intaking once we reopen at this price. Like, they don't have really any idea. So it's, there's not really any way to know if how many cards people are going to submit and things like that. So it's just going to be a kind of a best effort type thing. And they did say, which I will give them credit for, that they kind of wanted to focus more on the customer end of it, and if it's getting too out of control, then they are going to shut it down again. So I think that's kind of a good information to have going into a possible reopening.
Absolutely. And I think transparency like that is key, especially when you have so many people in the industry just begging for them to give you the answers. Because we've all been asking, when are our cards coming back from PSA? When are they coming back from BGS? And there's no visibility into it. I would much rather have a company tell me we're going to shut things down when we get overwhelmed than to say, keep sending us your shit. We'll deal with it when we get to it. And
Yeah.
we'll let you know when we kind of have somebody processing that, maybe. So I'm with you on that. I also think we should call out Sports Card Investor also does a little partnership with them where they'll actually do a pre-grading service. I know, Albal, you and I both used a pre-grading service before. I'm very happy with using a pre-grader,
Yeah.
mainly because of the importance that it is in the hobby right now. I'm not a trained eye. I wish that I was. I wish I could. I know that you're better looking at cards than I am personally. But what are your thoughts on the essential or the need of like a pre-grading service moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think pre-grading or having someone else take a look at your stuff before you submit it is definitely, like, it's a great idea. There's a lot of little things that you might miss, or even if you think, oh, this doesn't look too bad, where someone else is gonna tell you like, no, dude, that scratch is really bad, like that's gonna be an 8 at tops. And from what I've heard from SGC, actually, is they seem to be on the tougher side of in terms of giving out grades, even comparing to BGS or PSA possibly. So I definitely wouldn't be submitting modern cards to them that don't look perfect. So I definitely would recommend getting at least a second set of eyes on your cards. Make sure you're going everything with lights and just the whole 9 yards, basically, as much as you can, because if you're going to take the time, you're going to spend $30 a card. You don't want a modern card coming back as an 8. That's just, you're taking a huge L at that
Or
point.
lower?
Yeah, when especially in an
Exactly.
SGC slab. So definitely want to try to get those 9.5s and 10s. I do like that they have a 9.5 option as well. Just gives that
Same.
little extra bump over a 9, because a 9 is just kind of like it's not like a great feeling. A 10 is you're really stoked, and a 9.5, you got to be happy with that as well, because yeah, maybe there was a small flaw and you knew that going in, but 9.5 is just that extra little bump.
And I see that as adding so much more value. And I'm glad you brought that up too, because the fact that they have that added or additional level in there between the 9 and the 10, it really gives the card holder like value that they sent in and they didn't get that 9. Because if you look at the drop off from PSAs from the 10 to the 9, it's huge. But if you
Hmm.
look at the drop off from the SGC to the 9 or the 10 to the 9.5, it's not as big or astounding. But then to the 9, it's a little bit bigger. BGS different game because their 10s are pristine. So that's just ridiculous prices as is. But I'm with you. I like that additional value that they add to it. Any last thoughts on pre-grading or SGC as a whole?
I just think from SGC, I'll be curious to see kind of how the market reacts to this. There could be some good buys possibly on eBay. I know Sports Card Investor also put out a video talking about his hot investment tip was to go buy SGC slabs, so I'd probably hold off a little bit
No.
on that. Yeah, paid partnership, and yeah, go buy these. But
All in the
just
same week?
take a look, and I mean, I know there's some of the SGC prices on slabs are super super cheap. Like you maybe get like a PSA 7 price for SGC 10, then there's not really that much to lose, and with people just wanting slabs. I think that could. I mean, I agree with him. It could be a good buy. I would just be very selective and very patient too. Right now, I wouldn't go crazy right away because there's probably a lot of people going to be looking to pump and dump them right now. So you just be careful,
100%.
obviously, when you're buying.
100%. Yeah. I mean, only fools rush in, some would say. So you never want to be the first one to jump at that video saying, go invest in this person.
Yeah,
Check
because
some of the comps on eBay first.
right once
See what you're
the
getting into.
video's up, it's already too late. So yep.
You're holding the bag at that point, some
Yep.
would say. All right. All right. Well, I like that. Let's switch gears a little bit and talk a little bit more about something you know firsthand. So, there's some big news coming out that this Friday or May 14th, for anybody who's listening to this later, that they are no longer going to be holding sports cards inside of some select targets, and they're making the move to all targets. Is that correct?
Yeah, so from what I've seen kind of going around, I actually woke up this morning to a few people texting me a picture of sign in targets basically stating that yeah, they as of the 14th they won't be having sports cards or Pokemon going forward. Allegedly they're still gonna have like Magic and like Yu-Gi-Oh and possibly UFC, which I think is funny because people are still gonna try to
So
flip
those aren't
UFC.
threatening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
those aren't threatening employees.
I'm not sure. So like if you're gonna have US or UFC, you might as well have baseball too. Like the baseball, it doesn't move. It doesn't have the same power as sealed NBA, NFL wax. But regardless, yeah,
Right.
that's kind of the hot thing going around right now. A lot of people have been seeing that up in their targets. I personally didn't make it to my target today. I might go check tomorrow. But as far as I can tell, I think this might be the last week. Basically the reasoning behind that is there's just been a lot of drama happening every single Friday, and I think the retail stores are just getting tired of it, to be honest. Like I know it. I don't know. I see it from two perspectives because I can understand how it's a lot. Like in certain areas, yeah, when the lines are 40 50 dudes deep, and I guess there's been people fighting in lines. And then in Wisconsin there was a dude that actually got jumped by 4 people in the parking lot. And I guess Wisconsin is one of those
Oh
states where you
shit.
can have a concealed weapon on you. So he pulled a gun on the 4
Oh
guys that jumped
shit.
him in the Target parking lot for a select mega box. So I'm just like, I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Like I just can't fathom like jumping a dude for a select mega box that, you bought for $40. If you're gonna resell it, then you're gonna sell it for what, 180 on eBay after fees. You're making like
You're
150 tops. Like you're
you're pulling a
risking that.
gun for $100
Yeah,
profit, maybe.
like it's honestly mind blowing to me, and it seems like every Friday there's kind of a new issue that I see, mostly on social media. I mean, me personally, I've been going to the Friday Target deal for the last couple weeks, and for the most part, it's pretty civil. Everybody kind of gets at least something, hopefully, especially now they've brought the limit down to like one thing a person. I still think they could maybe get away with doing like one sport thing per person, but it's only going to get worse at this point. So at least, with the way it is now, if I go, it's early in the morning, I can get my day started. I can kind of look forward. Oh, Friday, maybe I'll get to rip a blaster or something. Last Friday was a mega box of select, which was tons of fun. Like I
Right.
really enjoyed it. So it's going to be a
You got
bummer
some big
if,
hits too.
yeah, it's just going to be a bummer if all of that goes away because, grown adults are acting like,
Children.
scavengers basically, and
Yeah.
children. So
Savages.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's just kind of like from what I've experienced. The other thing I was going to kind of mention is it seems like basically every Friday there's a new protocol and no one knows what's going on. And every single Friday it's, oh, this Friday we're doing 3 of every SKU. Next Friday it's 3 total. And then it's, oh, 1 from this shelf and 1 from over there. But some dudes are grabbing 3 and some guys taking 6 to the back and stashing it and coming back later or coming in and out 4 times. It's just like, I don't know. There's just not like a clean solution to this, I don't think, right now. So I mean, honestly, maybe if they kind of shelf the retail stuff for right now, I don't have like a huge problem with that. But if it goes away permanently, like I definitely think that's going to be a bummer for me personally and for for kids trying to get stuff, that it's literally going to be impossible. It's already basically impossible now, but if it's
Yeah.
going strictly online, like, I'm not going to be expecting like 12-year-olds to be like paying $300 for a bot to try to get something off Target. Like, it's
Right.
just ridiculous.
Right. And that's kind of where I wanted to lead into this was one, since you're one of the real OGs that really was on the forefront of hitting these before they were breaking at Target, trying to get a box when you found you could get some.
Mhm.
Do you think that this was expected? And do you think that it's going to move towards if you don't own a bot, you're never going to get discounted boxes?
Yeah. So I mean, I don't necessarily, I don't know. Wouldn't say it was expected, but I'm not surprised that this is the direction it's going. Because like I've been saying, it started at free will, buy whatever you can grab,
Right.
and then it slowly got down to 3 a week, 3 a person. And even this last Friday, it was because it was going from, one item per person, and then people were bringing their entire family and standing in line. And so then this last Friday, people were getting upset because they did that, and then they were saying, and now it's now one box per party. So it's just like, one, how do you're just making something up new every time. I don't know how you police
Right.
that, because there was people that they were telling no, and then there was a dude and his girlfriend that both grabbed it. Like, there's no way to police that. And
There's no
it's,
rhyme or reason.
yeah, but then it's also like I even heard Target employees like asking a little kid, like a dad brought his little kid in, and obviously, like, I think the dad grabbed football and the kid grabbed Pokemon, and one of the Target employees was like, oh, like, asking the little kid, like, is this for you or is this for daddy, like trying to be involved in it. And it's just like,
I
that's way stepping over the line for me. That's
right.
way too much. It's none of, I mean, at the end of the day, it really is none of your business. But, you know so what
I'm
if
with
I'm
you.
a dad and I want to collect sports cards? I'm not, but, let's say I was, and of course my
That
kid
you know
probably
of.
my kid probably wants to open cards too. Like, that's not really
Yeah.
any of the Target's business. But I just think it's just kind of gotten way out of control lately. So I'm not surprised to see this announcement at all.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you. And honestly, yeah, if I want to rip a box of cards, I don't have any kids, thankfully.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to have to bring a party or whatever to go do it. I know that kids are not going to be able to acquire sports cards easily or at all, really, unless they have a parent who's kind of savvy and a
Yeah.
little scrappy with it too. And that would require their parent to kind of be in the hobby, to kind of know and
Right.
be aware of what's going on to really be able to compete. So, I mean, it's unfortunate because all they're really doing is playing everybody who's kind of a pure hobbyist out of the market, and they're pushing them to resell channels. So that's where I question Panini: is this really the best way to do it? Because they're leaving so much money on the table by not finding a better way to distribute these boxes to keep their entire clientele happy. And so now I see more things like an electronic arts type where they have a monopoly on a certain area, and so they don't have to really push the bar up and get better or grow as a company. And that hurts not only the product, but it hurts also everybody who is chasing that.
Yeah.
Because you and I have talked about manufactured scarcity already. And when I see stuff like this from Panini, not really making an effort to correct, and who knows, maybe we're jumping the gun. Maybe they're going to come back and they're actually going to have a plan that's going to work. But I don't know if you've been on Panini's website lately when they drop anything. I don't have faith that that's ever going to happen.
Yeah, I don't either.
So that's yeah, and that's why I kind of lead to like, was it expected? No, but did we see it? Do we understand it? Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm just more fearful for will this raise wax like sealed wax for years in the future because of how high in demand it is right now, and almost like looking back on this point in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Is there a little bit of a novelty to the boxes that could have been attained that are still held as like these pandemic or embargo boxes? Is there any value that could be chased there?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that's a possibility. The other possibility, though, is that it's kind of a junk 2.0 era where, people have garages full of sealed blasters. I mean, I know you're not really like on TikTok and stuff, but anytime I go on TikTok, just because I've watched a few card videos here and there, it's my whole feed is, the dude like, oh, look at my thing, and the whole wall is select blasters, like hundreds and hundreds of optic, megas, and like all this stuff, people just hoarding all this product. So they're all thinking that, this is going to be like a 2017 Mahomes box, that a blaster's, $500, whatever they are now, and they think they're going to do that times 1,000 and then pay for a mansion or their kids' college with sealed wax. Which, I mean, I guess more power to them, but I just think that a lot of the same people are doing a lot of the same stuff, and generally when that happens, it's not a good, and not a good play, I guess, in my eyes.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The one thing that I was thinking when you were saying that, yeah, I'm not on TikTok, but with the videos of seeing blasters and walls of that in garages and everything, there was a story about a guy who was trying to sell all of his 91 Fleer, and he was like looking for an arm and a leg for it because he heard
Uh,
that sports cars were booming, only to find out that they actually were selling for less than he acquired like the entire cases for back in the
yeah,
day, which is just hilarious and also something that people should really be kind of paying attention to because, yeah, it's funny, it's painful, whatever. But we also kind of need to be aware of where we could be entering in the industry where so many people got into it quickly. Are we in that junk era 2.0? I would say so. I mean, I think that PSA pop reports that are going to be coming back over the next 12 months are going to say that as well. But I mean, we'll see.
yeah,
I just know that it's probably a good time to collect the guys you like, the guys that you're okay holding on to for the long term, and selling some of the shiny toys or shiny objects in the corner that you can feel free getting rid of. Tyler Harrows come to mind, but get rid of them as
yeah.
fast as
You're
possible.
you're already in trouble there. Yeah, I mean, if you
I,
bought any for eBay price,
I
but
I'm still in the red on that one. No, we don't want to touch too much on that. But let's go ahead and get into something more fun. Like as far as any sets or anything that you're looking to really collect or complete, what's really on the top of your mind with that?
yeah. So I've kind of been putting together a select Kobe Bryant set, and obviously, Kobe's my favorite athlete of all time by far for me. Big Lakers fan, and so I've been putting together just kind of like a select set of just base cards because anything Kobe now is expensive. So the parallels and anything short print is super super expensive. So I've been putting together that, and I really like Select as a product. That's kind of what got me started on it. I just wanted like a Select set to kind of just chase and fill out. And yeah, I saw some other people on Instagram and stuff posting different kind of chases they were doing, whether it was like the Galactics, which I know you'll touch on here in a little bit, or some of the other like refractors and things like that. So yeah, if you're actually watching on YouTube right now, so like here's the 2012, you can get a little view of that maybe.
Fire.
2012 Select Kobe Bryant. That's the first one. So yeah, I got all of them up through I think this is, what is this? This is 16, 17. This is courtside. So obviously with Select, there's the three different levels. Not every year, he doesn't have a card in each level every year. So for example,
Mhm.
this courtside one, he only has a courtside that season. So I'm looking into picking up the 2017 courtside right now, and that's one of the last ones that I need for the full just base. And yeah, it's been a fun thing. It's just some, kind of to look at over time, and you just be patient, look for a good price. Like there's been a few up that are 2-3x last sold price, and I've made a relatively good offer, a little bit over last sold, and they've been declined, so that's fine. I'm gonna wait and just kind of build that out. It's just something fun to just add another thing, since we can't open retail all the time or open hobby or just do
Right.
open wax or packs at all. So just something to kind of look forward to and take a look at. Is there anything that you have been kind of putting together?
Yeah, kind of. You already touched on Select. That's one, and then the Galactics I'll get to as well. But I'm glad you brought up the Select because you and I were kind of on that Select hype before everybody else was switching gears. Everybody seemed to be in love with Prism, and we were kind of wondering why is there no love for Select? We like the look of the cards. We like kind of the hierarchy, concourse, premier level, and then
Yeah.
field level or courtside. We like that rarity. And the thing is, we would rather chase those from the start than chase the pop counts of the Prism, which is really biting people, I think, right now. And it was really you that shared with me that not all rookies, especially in previous years, so not 2020 and on, but previous years of some rookies, they didn't have all of the levels. So I know that I don't think Jason Tatum had a courtside for his rookie year, and I don't think any of the rookies had a courtside for the rookie year. Is that true? Oh
Um,
wait, no,
Off top, I believe Tatum does have a courtside rookie, but I know for a fact Donovan Mitchell only has
that's what it
concourse.
was.
Yeah, he only has concourse
That
rookies and I think that's because where did he draft 13th? I always forget if he was like 9 or 30, somewhere in that back end of the lottery range. So yeah, he
It
only
was
for
outside of
whatever
10, yeah.
yeah, only for whatever reason he only has the base concourse level rookie. But I think because we're talking about Fox and Tatum and Mitchell and kind of their different
Right.
price ranges. But
And
I noticed coming across that Fox and Tatum both had all three, but Mitchell only has the base.
that's what it was. Yeah, because I remember you shared with me a Excel document kind of breaking down the difference in population between Prism and Select so I could really see just how inflated Prism was, and it was really making you and I wonder why people are chasing this. Like, are they really doing their research? Are they really looking into this, or are they just chasing what other people are telling them to chase? Because there's a difference between like a fad and a trend and understanding what you're really getting into. And I feel like a lot of people were just chasing that because other people were telling them to. Seems like a reoccurring theme on our podcast. But with the Select, it has a little bit unique look. It's much more scarce, so I'm always chasing those. As far as like a set, not really a set in mind. I do like the Galactic cards, mainly because they come from the Panini Revolution set. And for anybody who doesn't understand or isn't aware of them, they are a paper card, so they're very hard to grade. I have a Zion one that has foil or foil runoff, the gold foil runoff. That
Yeah,
was heartbreaking.
that was.
Um, but that's the name of the game, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. That when you're looking at scarcity of cards, there are other factors that go into it. There's the scarcity of how many there are printed, the print run, but then how well can they grade? And so if you're looking at these galactic cards where there's less than 20, they say it's hard to get the actual pop count. I've seen online they say 20, some say 10, whatever. It's low. The point is that not all of those are going to grade at 10. So the ones that are still going to have that hierarchy are going to hold a higher value no matter what. That's why I really like Galactic, and I'm trying to get all of the Galactic De'Aaron Fox for all of his years. I already have his rookie, and I already
Nice.
have the Tyrese Halliburton rookie Galactic card.
Yep.
I'm going to try and get all of theirs as they kind of progress throughout the Kings.
Yep.
As I knock on wood, begging that they stay with the Kings because knowing our franchise's history, I'm not that confident. But those are kind of what I'm going after, mainly because, like you already hit with the Select, it's a lot lower population. It's like a fraction of what Prism is. And here's the kicker, it was a fraction of the price also. When you sent me over that Excel doc kind of breaking down the difference, first thing I noticed was De'Aaron Fox. You get a Select 10 concourse, or Select PSA 10 concourse for $120 compared to his PSA 10 Prism rookie, just the base, for about 400. Some
Yeah,
were going up
it's
over
crazy.
500. It's stupid. And so when you see simple math like that, and you and I were always talking about why is this card not seen as a higher, but we do that with other cards too. I think that it just takes a little while for people to understand what they actually like versus what they're being told they like. So that's my take on that, and that's kind of who I'm chasing.
Yeah, and really quickly, if you guys, if you're interested in the Galactics, I'm sure if you're listening to this, you've probably seen a Galactic before, but if you haven't, definitely go over to our Instagram at hd.cards and check those out. They're posted on our page. The Halliburton is really, really sweet, and I think if we don't have the Fox up yet, it's going to be up soon in a post. So take a quick look at our Instagram if you want to check those out. Another kind of thing that I've been chasing is the photo variation for 2020 Donruss for Derek Carr. Obviously, as a Raiders fan, I definitely like to pick up some Derek Carr cards. And so I've been kind of just filling out. I have basically all of the numbered parallels of the photo variation. So there's 1 out of 100, 75, 50, 25, and then there's out of 10, and then the 1 of 1. So there's a big Derek Carr collector that has the 1 of 1. I know from Instagram.
Right.
And I did see a couple of the out of 10s. The out of 10s are cool too because it's black and he's in the black jersey on the photo variation. So it's a
That's
good
sick.
looking card. Yeah. And a couple of those popped on eBay a while back, and I put a few offers out and they didn't really budge on it, and then it was gone. So I haven't seen it since then. It's one of those ones where I got the saved search, but it just hasn't come up. So if you guys are somehow out there and you're listening and you have a Derek Carr photo variation press proof out of 10, hit me up because I'm looking to pick one up, complete my set.
Vegas Dave's ears just started burning.
Yeah, he goes, what? Derek Carr.
Buy. This is the real investment right here.
Yep. All right, man. Well, I think this is a pretty good episode. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on before we wrap it up here today?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head, but I got a lot to say. So we'll probably be coming back with the third podcast really soon.
Nice. Yep. We'll definitely be back for a third episode here soon. We'll get this one up and posted for you guys. Thank you so much for watching / listening. Make sure to drop a like on the video if you are watching on YouTube, and if you're listening to the podcast, leave us some positive feedback on there. Leave us a review. Maybe let us know down in the comments, what kind of sets if you're working on right now. Let us know. We'll definitely throw that into a next episode if we get some feedback there. So as always, thank you guys so much, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace.
Have a good one.